Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another video. We hope you are having a wonderful day. If you enjoyed today's presentation and find it informative, please feel free to subscribe to this channel, like the video, and share the content. Today's video subject, the 10 biggest mistakes that cat owners make. The senior cat wellness audience is a very smart and very savvy bunch. I know that 99% of you know your stuff. And for the vast majority of you, this video, well, it really won't even apply to you. If any one of you were to take over this channel tomorrow, I'm sure I would be leaving it in more than capable hands. Additionally, in respect to this subject matter, your list of common mistakes, if you were to make one, would probably be a bit different than the one presented today. 10 mistakes. If we were to get down to the nitty gritty, I'm sure we could all come up with a list of about 100 or more. Having said all of that, just clearing the air a bit, if you are a new owner, a novice owner, having no prior experiences with cats of any real significance, what I'm about to say is very important. We all make mistakes along the way. The journey and grand adventure known as pet ownership can be an interesting one, even for professional owners with many years and decades of experience. However, there are a few rules that we try to live by. Somewhat of a, let's call it a not to do type of listing. And in no particular order, this bit of a conversational piece, if you will, for this video. Here are 10 mistakes that many cat owners make, especially new owners. Number one, let's call it feeding dry food. As in, nothing but dry food. This is a huge mistake. While appealing, dry brand cat food often fails to provide very much at all in the way of nutrition. Cats need meat and protein, and while dry food can certainly get the job done, a wet diet is the goal. That's what you're aiming for, consisting of the essentials. Wet food is the very best option. If you have any questions concerning your cat's diet and what your feline needs to maintain proper health, please do not hesitate to contact your vet. Number two, lack of proper coat care. Those fur balls, those fur balls, that's what we're talking about here in number two. Groom your pet a few times a week, 2 or 3 times should that's the magic number for at least for me. A small plastic comb will often do the trick. It doesn't have to be anything even remotely fancy. What about a tiny flea comb? That can work wonders. The objective here is to rid your cat of loose fur. This is especially true if you have a long-haired cat. Remove the fur before your cat swallows it. Number three, mistake number three, ignoring changes in your cat's personality and just habits and behaviors in general. Always wonder why. Always be just a bit curious, not overbearing, but curious, and always be proactive. This doesn't mean that everything has to be an emergency, but some things are indeed worth your attention and your acknowledgement. Never allow your cat to seemingly just exist and wander about your home. Always make sure all is well and all is right. There's a big difference between just having a cat and owning a cat. It's critical to take ownership. Never let your pet become just another item or object in your home. Don't fall into the trap of just taking that absolute hands off approach. Be mindful of everything, knowing your cat's baseline, just, general personality, what your cat is and how they act in the best of times. Knowing that baseline and more importantly, knowing when it changes. This could, in some cases, potentially save your pet's life. Number four, mistake number four, and I think we all knew it would be on the list, is litter box care. Clean it out on a regular basis. Make sure the box itself is satisfactory to your cat's size and preference. Also, make sure the litter itself is suitable. Cater to your pet's bathroom needs, or else they'll just downright do their business in spaces that are not meant for that type of activity, let's just say. Number five, take your cat to the vet for regular checkups and always have your cat treated for fleas and then have them microchipped. Very important. Spayed and neutered if that's what you want, of course. Nothing above and beyond, just the basics. This harkens back to the importance of being proactive and not allowing your pet to simply exist in your home. Caring for your cat goes far beyond just a few daily petting sessions. Number six, mistake number six involves serving up food that is meant for human consumption. It's common for some new owners to fall into that trap of treating the cat like a dog, just giving them random food from the table. That's a no go, that's a mistake. Never make a habit of feeding your pet food that is meant for the human taste. Stick to that wet cat food that was mentioned earlier. No cheeseburgers for Garfield. Number 7, lack of discipline. The mistake of lack of discipline. Inability to understand your cat's body language, meows, etc. No effort to relate to your cat and teach them how to function properly within your home. This goes back to that hands off approach. These cats from hell that you often hear and see, well, you can actually nurture one if you're not careful. Like children, cats need positive discipline. They're not born knowing what to expect from you. As a new owner, you're going to have to take the bull by the horns a bit, set some ground rules. Don't allow your cat to just run free and take ownership of your very own home. You can love your cat while still letting them know who's boss. Number 8, the mistake of not being in it for the long haul. Lack of bonding commitment, care commitment, financial commitment. If you're going to own a cat, you have to think of the future, long term. If you're worried that within, say, 2 weeks, you're just going to throw up your hands and say, I just cannot do this, then having a cat just probably is not for you. It's not fair to your cat and it's not fair to you. While that's not to suggest that you are stuck with your pet for life, no questions asked, giving your cat away simply because you were not up for the task should never be a reason if you can avoid it. If you are worried that you cannot fulfill your role in things before they really ever begin. Without going long winded and making this a 60-minute video, I'll just say, on a candid and personal note, the greatest cat I ever owned entered my life because of a neglectful owner who was unable to fulfill her responsibilities. It was a blessing for me, but it will always serve as an example. If you can't do it, don't do it. And there's no shame in admitting that you just might be in over your head. But push those cards right to the center of the table early on. Don't wait years and then do it. It can be a bit of a mess. Number 9, speaking of mess, milk. Stick to that fresh water. Don't give cats milk. There's a common misconception that cats just love milk and that it's good for them. Most felines are in fact lactose intolerant. Milk really has very little value for felines and it can cause an upset stomach. And finally, number 10 on our list, the mistake of declawing. And in some ways, this could be the biggest mistake of this whole entire list, and that's saying a heck of a lot. New cat, indoor life. I'll get it declawed so it won't scratch me or damage my furniture. Huge mistake. Epic mistake. Cats should never be declawed unless there is a legitimate medical reason behind the decision. It needs to be stated that declawing is far more than just a quick snip of the nail. It's not like the basic trimming that we do. Declawing is a serious procedure that involves removal of an entire joint. Declawing is a form of amputation, and unless your cat is in a dire state, declawing should never be an option, especially if it's a solution for your comfort and your pleasure. So, before we close things out for this video, what would you personally like to add to this list? Please let me know, as what you have to say could potentially help others, especially new owners. There's really no such thing as too much knowledge, so please comment below and let's add to the list of common mistakes. We'll let this list serve as a positive guide for others. And once again, feel free to like and share this video and subscribe to the channel if this type of content is of interest to you. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later.